Hey, time now for the Veterans Connection on WHTL.
Listen up, you filthy maggots! It's time for the Veterans Connection on WHTL. Sir, yes, sir. I can't hear you. Sir, yes, sir. Attention! You serve your country. You made the sacrifice. The Veterans Connection is here to help. So fall in line, dirtbags. Sir, yes, sir. What's that? I can't hear you. Yes, Drill Sergeant! Now pay attention. The Veterans Connection is brought to you by the Trempealeau County Council of the American Legion, International Ingredients, Reedy Concrete and Construction, Fireworks over Blair, Mondovi Insurance Agency. Now listen up. The Veterans Connection starts right now.
And it does. And the last Tuesday of every month, I get to welcome Hunter Rudnick in the studio, Veteran Service Officer for Jackson County. And good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Well, it'd have been better if the Packers would have played a little better on Sunday.
What's up with them?
It's the you never know which Packer team is going to show up.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You know, that first game of the year, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the year. And then, I don't know.
Yep. Hopefully they can figure it out on their bye week this week. We'll see.
Well, at least they won't lose.
Right.
Or tie.
I think a tie is almost worse.
Oh, it is. I mean, they shouldn't allow ties in professional sports. I mean, really, come on.
Yeah.
You can't play one more quarter until somebody scores. I mean, really?
Yep.
I mean, it's like the old saying, it's like kissing your sister. You know, just, no, don't do it.
Right.
All right. You've been busy?
Been busy, yep.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, helping people for sure.
That means that people are reaching out and needing assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, one thing we've talked about before, and that's that, you know, a lot of veterans maybe aren't even aware of the fact that they have benefits that could be coming to them. Is that pretty accurate statement?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad information out there about the VA and VA benefits. So that's why I always try to encourage people, even if you've met with your service officer, but it's been, 3, 5, 10 years since you've met with them, give the office a call and set up an appointment just to go in and go over if you have any benefits and kind of go over what your options are as far as that goes. I try to encourage people to talk to their service officers about that, especially if you've never talked to your service officer. Definitely get on the phone and get into the office just to see what the options are. Most people have options that they don't even know about, or most people have benefits that they aren't even aware of, and if you don't for whatever reason, then we're fun to talk to sometimes too. So
true story. You prove that in here every Tuesday.
Right on.
What are some of the benefits that are mostly overlooked that people have coming that they just don't realize?
Yeah, like funeral benefits is a big one. There's burial allowance for specific veterans. Gravestones, headstones. Pretty much anybody that's walked through a cemetery has seen the marble or the granite veterans headstones or the little bronze plaques. Almost, most veterans qualify for one of those headstones. And then, the VA disability compensation. People, it's a misconception like, I was never in combat, so I can't file a disability claim. It's like, well, that has nothing to do with any of it. Even like National Guard, if you were activated, even if you weren't activated, if you got injured on a drill weekend and there's sworn statements and there's records showing that you got injured on a drill weekend, you can file disability claims for that. Or any period of active duty time, you can file disability claims if you got, injured or you have things that you still deal with because of that injury. You can file claims for that kind of stuff. So
it's kind of the if but for.
Yep.
If it is kind of the if but for rule.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits out there, and I'll never claim to know all of them, but I got some cheat sheets and stuff that I have in my office that we can take a look at, and when it comes to VA stuff, I like to think that I'm aware of most of it, but there's so many different benefits out there. So just set up an appointment with your veteran service officer, even if it's a half-hour conversation, just to see what your options are.
You may not know everything, but you know more than most.
Right. And if I'll be the first to tell you if I don't know, and if I don't know, I'll find the information for you. So
it's got to be like holding a tiger by the tail, though, because the VA, it just keeps changing.
Yeah, it is a ever-changing system, and there's always new benefits and new eligibilities. Example. VA healthcare eligibility, it was always you either qualified by having a service-connected disability or based on income. And then a year and a half ago-ish, they opened it up if you have had any toxic exposure while you were in, so burn pits, Agent Orange, even if you didn't have a disability percentage, you could now qualify to use VA healthcare. There's constantly things like that are changing. So if you applied for VA healthcare 10 years ago and got denied, but you were in Vietnam or in any of the burn pit locations, Iraq, Afghanistan, all the burn pit locations, you now qualify for VA healthcare if you got denied 10 years ago because there's new rules. So that's why every few years I encourage people to go talk to their CVSOs just to see what's changed, and you never know what kind of benefits you might be eligible for.
And, it could be anything as simple as eyesight or hearing, or, I mean, both of those are very important and certainly common.
Yeah.
And there's a reluctance for veterans or family of veterans to reach out. Why do you think that is, Henry?
Honestly, I think it's probably because, just for personal experience, that's not why you joined. It's a selfless thing, and you didn't join for the benefits afterwards. You joined to serve the country, and there's certain groups of veterans, like Vietnam veterans specifically. When they came back, they weren't treated all that well, so they kind of disassociated from being a veteran altogether. And that's something that I try to fight too in my office, and just try to get them in. And you earn the benefits. The other thing is people feel like they're taking advantage of a system sometimes. It's like, no, you're not taking advantage of the system. I hear it all the time in my office. Oh, I don't want to file for that because there's somebody way worse off than I am. And I've kind of come up with my own little thing how I reply to that is, there's only one person in the world that can say there's nobody worse off than they are. You earn the benefits. To help you get the benefits. The way the system is built, if you take a piece of the pie, it doesn't take away from the Vietnam veterans' piece of the pie, or the Iraq War veterans' piece of the pie. There's enough pie for everybody, so you're not taking anything away from anybody else by chasing your benefits.
Exactly. I think back to my dad. He was a World War II vet, and I think back to him. It was different than Vietnam, but they never talked about it. They internalized everything. They never talked about it. And, they probably should have reached out more, but, they just didn't, because that was the way it was. They just came back and went to work and started families.
Yeah, didn't really have a choice. Life goes on. It's the way it was back then.
And so, if you're listening and you're a veteran, or if you're a family member of a veteran who you think may be struggling or needs a little bit of assistance, reach out. What have you got to lose? I mean, you made that commitment. It may be something that's coming to you.
And the last piece of advice that I could give on this specific thing that we're talking about, you can't be. I see it in my office quite a bit. People try to be reactive when it comes to VA. If they need, so hey, Grandpa's, he needs in-home health care. He needs this or that. Can we get him signed up for the VA? Nothing in the VA system is fast. So I try to encourage people, be proactive and not reactive. Because if you try to be reactive, like, he needs this right now, but he's not signed up for VA healthcare, or he needs this right now, but he needs to get to this percentage of disability or VA disability compensation, it's not a quick process. No. Nothing is fast when it comes to VA. So that's been kind of my moniker for the last 6 months, is trying to encourage people to be proactive and not reactive.
Do it now before it becomes critical.
Yep.
Very smart advice. It's like maintenance on a car. Do it now before the car blows up.
Exactly. Yep. Right on.
Good advice. If people want to reach you, what's the best way to do that?
Give us a call at my office. Number is 715-284-0225, and that'll ring right to my benefits specialist, Brenda Schultz, desk, and she will get you on the schedule. We encourage people to get on the schedule. We do take walk-ins when available, but if you call, we can make sure we got an hour carved out for you in the schedule to sit down and have a conversation.
And if you call, leave a message.
Absolutely, yeah. If there's no answer, leave a voicemail, because I don't go scrolling through my office phone calling back all the numbers that I missed calls from.
You're
unless there's a voicemail. No.
Oh, okay. See, we learn something every day. All right, Hunter, always good to see you.
You as well.
For coming in. Hunter Rudnick, Veteran Service Officer with Jackson County. You can give him a call. Make sure you do. Reach out and set up an appointment. You got nothing to lose. And you never know. It could change your life dramatically. We'll be talking with Hunter again at the end of October. I have a feeling you'll have some hunting stories by then.
Hopefully, if this weather cools down, the deer start moving again.
Well, I think they probably will. Hunter Rudnick, Veteran Service Officer, Jackson County. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Veterans Connection here on WHTL, brought to you by International Ingredient Corporation, Mondovi Insurance Agency, Fireworks Over Blair, Reedy Concrete Construction, and, of course, the Trempealeau County Council of the American Legion.
We are the American Legion family. This includes the American Legion Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, and the Legion Riders. If you are a veteran, a spouse of a veteran, a child of a veteran,